Hey folks, David Stewart here. Some of you may know I suffer from conductive hearing loss in my right ear, and some of you may also know I have what's called a bone-anchored hearing system, which is a very specialized kind of hearing aid that rather than going through the ear canal, the regular opening of the ear, it attaches to a metal post, and you can see mine here, called an abutment, that is drilled into your skull. So this goes through my scalp and into my skull. The processor, which is the actual hearing aid part, attaches onto that and vibrates that metal post in my skull, bypassing my non-functional middle ear to stimulate the cochlea and my auditory nerve and restore hearing. It's a really, really cool device. Mine is made by Oticon Medical, and Ponto is the name of the processor. And I recently got to upgrade my processor from my original Ponto Plus Power to the brand new Ponto 3 Superpower. And it's been pretty cool so far. I've had it for a couple weeks, and I just wanted to show it to you and talk about some of the differences for those of you who may be looking at a bone-anchored hearing system. So here they are. They look pretty similar, as you can see. This one is the Ponto Plus Power, my old one, which was a great processor and definitely was awesome to have. It really was a life changer in a lot of ways. It let me actually mix and master my album from 2017, Memories Adrift. This is the new Ponto 3 Superpower, and it is a really, really big upgrade. I noticed some massive improvements with this. So the first thing I noticed when I got my new processor, and I still think is the biggest improvement from my previous model, is the extra volume. There's 10 decibels of extra output with the new Ponto 3 Superpower as opposed to the Ponto Plus Power, and you will notice those 10 decibels right away if you were to have a similar upgrade. And in fact, that extra volume is probably the biggest benefit to anybody who has a significant amount of hearing loss. And it was a benefit in my experience for two reasons. The first one very obvious, the second one a little more subtle. The first and obvious reason is that you can crank it up louder and hear softer noises. So if somebody's talking very quietly, you can crank it up even louder. The processor keeps up with it. It has an active program to eliminate noise, and it's very, very good at that. Even at loud volumes, I can hear quiet talking. I can even crank it up loud enough to hear like mice like scratching at the pet store. It's very, very sensitive, and it works really, really, really well. The second reason is a little bit more subtle, and it has to do with what's called headroom in amplification terms. And basically, the more distance you have between a signal and the total available amount of amplification, the more headroom you have. And when you have a lot of headroom, that reduces the distortion of the sound and gives you a more pure representation of what that sound sounds like. So there is an improvement in the quality of sound merely from the extra 10 decibels of amplification. So if you imagine any given sound has different volumes for lots of different frequencies. When you sing a note or play a note on the guitar, you actually don't have one frequency, but many frequencies in their overtones. The volume of those overtones is what determines the tone of an instrument or what vowel sound or what consonant you're making when you're speaking. Being able to accurately represent the volumes of all those frequencies, particularly in the higher range, meaning the really, really high frequencies where noises like S are, the better you're going to be able to understand speech. And I actually noticed an increase in my comprehension of speech right away when I was using this. Now, another big improvement to this, besides just the volume, is actually the equalizer program, the processing programs that get put onto this. And I think if you have the older model, you can get some of these as well. I tried out a new program called a desired sensation level program, which is a little bit different standard from what I was using before, and it was a huge, huge improvement to what I had before. The desired sensation level program really accentuates the higher frequencies and kind of cuts down on the mids, which compared to my old program, I found the old program to be really boomy and woofy, especially around the 600 hertz mark, which is where a lot of concentration of sound frequency and tone is in the human voice, as well as instruments like guitar and piano. So this really cleaned up the sound and also helped me to improve my comprehension of speech. I notice now when I take my hearing aid off, there's an immediate drop in my ability to hear things accurately and understand what people are saying. The biggest benefit that I've had from this is my ability to understand what people are saying, particularly my son, who's only 2 and doesn't have the best, speech patterns yet. So being able to hear him, that's a massive boom. As far as how it's improved my music, it's allowed me to hear more brilliant instruments with a lot better clarity because of that extra headroom and because of that better desired sensation level programming. So things like a harpsichord that have an extremely brilliant, bright sound, you can hear the tone quality a lot better. When I play my guitar, I can definitely hear a lot more quality in my ponticello playing right in front of my lap when I happen to be playing. And I also notice when I'm listening to full arrangements or full recordings, I can hear more definition up in the higher range with this new processor. And it's definitely going to be used for my next album for 2018. I will be mixing it using this hearing aid. Like, I can't really describe what a big benefit my original processor was for helping me to actually record and mix music, because I could accurately hear the sound and I could accurately perceive stereo. With this newer one, the stereo perception is way up. I can hear things on my right side a lot clearer, and I can differentiate directions a lot easier. I can hear the stereo spectrum even better than I could before. And most importantly, I can hear what sound accurately is supposed to be. To me, this new desired sensation level program, it really sounds like I've turned my other ear back on. And when I first got my processor, I was like, it really sounds like I turned my other ear back on, but this one's even better. It's like taking cotton out of my ears, and I can hear things really clearly. I can hear the tone of instruments, and most importantly, I can hear speech very, very clearly. So hopefully that's a little bit of help to you if you are in the market for a bone-anchored hearing system. These are both made by Oticon Medical, and Ponto is the name of them. There are actually 3 different levels. There's a base level, which has a different looking chassis from this and uses smaller hearing aid batteries. These use 675, which are kind of big, but you know where that extra power goes. This is the Ponto 3 Superpower, and I do recommend it if you are looking into bone-anchored hearing systems. It's a big step up from my last processor, and the system itself is a huge step up from not being able to hear at all. That's a huge thing if you're in music like me, and I can't really communicate enough how cool it was to be able to actually have access to this. The future's awesome, and I'm so glad I live in it and I can actually have hearing in both my ears again. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully this has been informative to you. I will see you guys next time, and I hope you will have a great day.